So, welcome back to my channel after a long hiatus of 3 whole years. It's been a journey, okay? It's been a while since I've sat down to film a bookish video. So I'm just excited to be back. And I figured that the best way to resurrect this channel from the grave, okay, is to film my TBR game, TBingoR. This is a much fancier version of this game than the last time I played. I've had a lot of free time, so, you know, things have been done. The board looks a lot better. It looks a lot more put together. I think we should go over the rules because, honestly, I don't really remember how I used to play. So I think it would be nice to, like, make sure we're on the same page. So, TBingoR. I will be doing six books a month. So, to choose my books, what we'll do is we will spin the cage, okay? We'll get a ball with the letter and the number, you know, bingo. And then if it is on the board, then I will flip the card over and figure out what the prompt is. Okay? And then if it's on the top row, my goal is to find a fantasy. If it's on the second row, I have to find a sci-fi. If it's the middle row, a contemporary. If it's this second to last row, then a paranormal, mystery, thriller, horror, something of that nature. And then the bottom row, I don't have to find any specific genre. Now the thing about that is that it's only my goal, okay, to find that genre. If I can't fit a book to the prompt that is also that genre, that's fine. I think I'll probably eventually figure out some kind of reward, like if I can fit the book to the prompt and the genre, then like I get some kind of advantage, something like that. I haven't quite decided yet, but it'll be fine. It'll be fine. And then if what I get from the cage is not on the board, then I have the rest of my cards that have prompts on the back. So I'll just pick a random one and then have to find a book that fits that prompt, and it doesn't have to be a specific genre like if it were on the board. I feel like we're not really acquainted anymore since it's been a while. So here I'm not going to really touch on what I've been reading recently or really what my reading taste is like. I think I'll do a specific video talking about where I am with my reading, what I like, what I don't like, because I think it is very different from the last time I made a video. So stay tuned for that. That'll be like a really chatty video because I've learned in the last couple of years that I really like to ramble and I like to talk. So expect that to be a long one, but it'll be fine. It'll be fine. So I think that we can go ahead and do the first spin. I don't have any kind of like book clubs or readathons or like anything that I have to read anything specific for. So that'll be fine. So let's go ahead and get our first spin. It's I-16. I know you're not going to be able to see these, so you just have to trust me that like it is what I say it is. I-16. So I-16 is not anywhere on this. It's not on here. So let's grab the cards, okay, make sure they're the right way up, and we'll just pick a random one and like see what happens. I'm not used to filming on something with a viewfinder, so if I'm like not looking directly at the camera, like I'll get it figured out one of these days. Like I will. Okay, so let's see. Let's do this one, blue 47. Ooh, okay. So the prompt is person on the cover. So give me a second and we'll see what I have that fits this prompt. Okay, so for person on the cover, I chose The Merciless Ones by Namina Forna. This is the second book in a YA fantasy trilogy. I think the last book is out, and I loved the first book. The first book is called The Gilded Ones, and it is about a girl named Decca, and she lives in this little village, and it's her 16th birthday, and on the day of each girl's 16th birthday, they have to go through a ceremony where they have to find out if their blood runs gold or red. Red is normal, and if it runs gold, then they're like exiled, like they're gone. So, on the day of the ceremony, her blood runs gold, and she is thrown out of the village. The series, like, really, or the first book at least, the first book, like, really goes on from there. There's a lot of political stuff, some, like, rebellions and wars, like, in the background. There's, like, a lot of interesting stuff, a lot of twists and turns, too. And it's just, like, a really fun time. I loved it, so I'm really excited to be able to get to this one in January. Okay, so let's do our second spin. N43. So let's look at the board. N43 is right at the top here. Let's see if I can do this without, okay, well, okay, so the sticky tack came off a little bit. It'll be fine. I will, like, care of that. So, TBR vet. So, give me a second and I will find something to fit the prompt TBR vet. Okay, so for TBR vet, I chose The Ask and the Answer by Patrick Ness. Because it was in the top row, it was supposed to be a fantasy, but The Ask and the Answer is a sci-fi. So whatever I choose for, like, the rewards or whatever for matching it properly, I won't get that, but it's fine. The Ask and the Answer is the second book in a YA sci-fi trilogy. The whole series is out. I'm actually not quite sure how old the series is. But the first book was called The Knife of Never Letting Go, and I read that like 3 or 4 years ago. It's been a while. And it follows a boy, I don't remember how old he is, but like teenage. And he lives in this dystopian world where there was a disease that killed off all the women and made it to where all the men can hear each other's thoughts. And which is like a really interesting concept. And I don't actually remember, I remember what happened, but I don't actually remember like how much of it is spoilery. So that's all I'm gonna say. There are some like adventures, some like weird things that are going on. And it was a really good time. So I'm really excited to get to the second book. If you haven't noticed, I'm really trying to get through some sequels in January. I did some calculations the other day, and I'm in the middle of 40 series. And my brain wasn't built to hold that many different fantasy and sci-fi worlds, so like we're really trying to get through them so I can clear up some space in my brain for other things. So glad to get another sequel on here, and one that I'm actually really excited to get to. Okay, so let's do the third spin. N37. Let's see. N37 is not anywhere on the board. So, we get to pick another one of our cards. Just gonna like shuffle through them a bit. And we'll go with this one. Red 10. Okay, so B10 is a middle grade. And I actually think that for this one, I'm going to go with Percy Jackson and the Chalice of the Gods by Rick Riordan. Everyone knows what Percy Jackson's about. It follows Percy Jackson, who we find out is the son of Poseidon, and he has to navigate living in our world, but with Greek gods and goddesses. So this is starting a new story arc, I believe, but it's still like in the original series. So I'm really excited to get to it because Percy Jackson is one of those like really nostalgic reads. So I was thrilled to find out that he was still writing like more Percy Jackson books. So I'm really excited to be able to get to these in January. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the fourth spin. G57. G57 is on the board. So let me flip that over. Okay. So, the prompt is a book with a foiled cover. So, give me a second to try to find something to fit that. Okay, a book with foil on the cover. This is kind of cheating, but I'm going to be choosing The King of Crows by Liba Bray. There's no foil on the cover, but the spine, the title is foiled. So we're going to go with that. This is the last book in the Diviners series. Fourth book, final book. I adore the series so much. It follows a group of six, I believe, people, and it's set in the 1920s in New York City, and all six of these people are diviners, which means they have abilities of some kind. This is like a paranormal, I'm not sure if it's quite a thriller, but it's not horror. It's like a paranormal fantasy type story, and it's like, it's wild. It's absolutely amazing. All the characters are like really distinct and quirky, and they all like work. They sometimes work well together, but a lot of the time they're like at each other's throats, which is always a fun time to read about. And it has like these really good. I love a good like gathering the team moment, and this series is like full of them. So I'm super excited to be getting through another series. I'm really just excited to get to this book. Let's do our fifth spin. It's 074. 074. 074 is not on the board. So let's pick a card. I don't even know. Picking from these is kind of scary because when I put together the board, I like put the prompts that I wanted or like had books in mind for. I put them on the board. So like this could be like anything. We're gonna go with Yellow 20, which is a book that I think has an ugly cover. So give me a second and I will find something to fit this prompt. Okay, for a book with an ugly cover, I chose Lord of Chaos by Robert Jordan. This is the sixth book in the Wheels of Time series, which is like a ginormous, like 15-book epic fantasy series. And it is a struggle between good and evil, really like classic type of fantasy story. And it follows the Dragon Reborn, who is an influential figure who is reincarnated with every age, and his purpose is to like tip that particular age towards light or dark. So we're following this age's Dragon Reborn, while he like finds out that he's the Dragon Reborn and tries to tip the world towards good. And this series has like so many characters, and while I don't think that it's the most well-written series, I do think that it's really well plotted, and I like the intricacy of the plot, not so much the characters, because I feel like sometimes some of the characters are flat, but I think that the point of reading something like this, for me anyway, is to pick up on like the things that have become staples in the fantasy genre and figure out like where they came from and like what really everything was built upon. So, sixth book in that series. I really don't like the covers for these series. There are like more modern covers which are like really simplistic. There aren't like, it's not illustrated covers. There's like singular objects on the cover with like a matte background, which are okay. But I think these like older covers are not very pretty. So I think this definitely fits. But I am excited to get through it because I would really like to finish this 15-book series in 2025. So as many of these as I can get on TBRs, the better. Okay, let's do our final spin. And it is 073. So let's see. 073 is again not on the board. Let's pick from our stack. Let's go with this one. Blue 59, which is a brown cover. This might take me a second, so let me see what I have. Okay, brown cover, I chose Dragon Keeper by Robin Hobb. I apparently like don't have a lot of brown books. So this was like the best I can do. The lettering is brown. The whole cover is like kind of muted and like brownish, green, yellow. This is just what we're gonna do. My game, my rules. You know, all that jazz. So this is kind of the start of a new series, okay? But it's a continuation of the like extended universe of Robin Hobb that has the Fitz and the Fool. Oh no, that's no. The first Fitz trilogy, which I don't actually remember what it's called. That one, okay. And then the Live Ship Traders trilogy, the Tawny Man trilogy, this one, which has 4 books, and then the Fitz and the Fool is the last trilogy. So there's 5 series. This is the start of the 4th series, but like I'm counting like the whole thing kind of as a series, and I'd like to get through it. So the first trilogy is really all I can talk about without spoiling. So it follows Fitz, who is the king's, well, he's the bastard son of a prince. And he gets sent off when he's really young. He gets sent off to live with his grandfather, the king. And he's trained as an assassin because he's like kind of in that perfect position where he is a bastard, so he isn't necessarily like blending in with the royalty, but like he can go to those types of things, like the different royal events, but like be able to slip into the shadows because no one's really paying attention to him. And it just follows like his adventures. All of Robin Hobb's books, like in this world, like they really pack a punch. She is not afraid to kill people off, to hurt the characters. Like it's really an emotional ride that you have to be prepared for. But I love it because I guess I just love, despair, and it's fine. We're not gonna go into what that means, but I absolutely love all of her stuff in this world. So I'm really excited to read this one because I really actually like to get through this series and the last one in this world. I'd really like to get through those in 2025 as well. So really excited that I could get this one on the TBR. So this is what the TBR is looking like. Lord of Chaos, Dragon Keeper, King of Crows, and the Merciless Ones, and then also the Ask and the Answer, and Percy Jackson and the Chalice of the Gods. So that's kind of a big stack. I've been averaging like 4 books a month. Okay, so 6 is going to be a little bit of a stretch, and some of these are like kind of big and a little dense. We'll see how it goes. But I really hope that y'all enjoyed the reintroduction to TBingoR. It's Resurrection from the Grave. I am going to be doing this monthly now, so if you'd like to see the future videos featuring TBingoR, then please consider subscribing. And if you liked the video, please give it a like. Please let me know in the comments if you've read any of these books and what you thought of them, and then also what you plan on reading in January. But I think that's going to be it from me. Bye.